I'm an African and I'm an atheist. This is the story of why I chose to become an atheist. Even though, like, I've not checked the statistics, but I think like over 80% or 90% of our country is religious. So here we go. I was born in a religious family. Like, my mom is religious. My dad, not that religious, but kind of religious. And when we were young, I just did the normal religious thing. Like, I went to church. I used to follow the rules of the Bible and all those things that Christians do. Yeah, I used to sing at church. I used to be a member in the church choir. But as time went by, there are just questions in my mind that never got answered. Okay, there's so many things that I see happening that don't make sense to me. Also, I'm not condemning anyone for being religious, okay? I appreciate everyone should believe whatever the hell they want to believe in. But for me, man, like, it's hard to be a religious human being because of some of the things I've been seeing. Like, let me give you an example. I'm African. And one thing I'm a Kenyan. One thing Kenya is known about is corruption. Yeah, there are so many corrupt politicians in our country. And most of them kind of get away with it. Yeah, like, you see all these bad people doing bad things and they are getting away with it. Yeah, like, I think according to the Bible, corruption is not right. I don't know which verse, I don't know which verse to quote, but I think in the Bible it's not the right thing to do. But here in Kenya, situations are different. And also, at least at some point in our lives, like, this country we are, like, it's a very corrupt country. Like, at some, like, I don't know anything about statistics about this. I've never checked, but I think at some point almost every Kenyan has done something that's probably corrupt. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know which percentage, but I'm sure it's over 50 or 60%. I think it's over like 60%. Like, example, the traffic police, whenever you're driving and the traffic police catches you in a mistake, when you get pulled over by the police, most of the time people are just going to bribe themselves out of it. If you're getting government documents like passports, now it's a bit okay, but some years back, you need to bribe people. Go and look for those Kenyans who are abroad right now and ask them how they got their passport. I'm pretty sure a good number of them actually bribed for to get those passports. Like, I'm seeing all these things unfold all around me, and I'm like, and then you see these people on Sundays. They are very religious. Like, the hypocrisy that I see every day. I'm not trying to judge anyone. I'm just looking, yeah, like, I'm just seeing how the world is on my perspective, and doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, I don't like judging people, but I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Like, you see these people doing all these crazy things. You see, your pastor, a pastor in a church can be adulterous. He can be sleeping with some of the family. He can be sleeping with some of the church members, okay, and still come every Sunday and preach like nothing like that has ever happened. Yeah, I've known a pastor in my life who actually is drinking, yeah, like, alcohol in secret. Yeah, this pastor, I'm not going to mention him or who he is, but I know a pastor in real life, like, who was in an accident. Okay, he was caught in a car accident. He, good thing he wasn't injured in the car accident, but when they checked in his vehicle, they figured out that this guy had been drinking alcohol. Okay, after the accident, and you're like, dude, this guy is a pastor. Okay, in a church somewhere preaching you should not drink alcohol, and here he is doing what he is preaching to people not to do. The hypocrisy. So, like, just the way humans are behaving makes me question so many things about this religion. And then you see people doing bad things. Politicians, there are politicians out here who are murderers in our country, who have actually murdered people, and they have gotten away with it just because they look. If you're rich in this country, you are untouchable. You are above the law. Like, you can just buy yourself out of any trouble in our country. Okay. Yeah. If you're rich, don't jail is only for poor people and maybe middle class people. But rich people, you don't have to worry about jail. So you see, things like this are so unfair in life. And then, God, why are you letting these things happen? These people should be like, you should strike them with thunder or lightning or something like that. But God does not do that. Yeah, I don't know how God is going to inflict this punishment on these people. There are so many bad people out there walking, doing bad things to people, and nothing is happening to them in my country. Also, statistics now. Like, I read some on the internet. I'm not sure about this too, but I read some on the internet that China is 90% not religious, and still the economy and country is functioning. Yeah, like just normal way, and everything is okay. In fact, they are doing better than most African countries are religious, but economically they are not doing well. Like, I'm not condemning anyone religion, okay? I'm just saying what I'm seeing, okay? Yeah, I'm just saying what I'm seeing. So many things don't make sense. You see bad people getting away with things, and then you're seeing, like, even religion is not bringing about that prosperity. Religion is supposed to make people prosper. Like, Africa is probably the most religious continent on earth, but if you look at the prosperity, okay, how do we like, okay, what do I mean when talking about prosperity? Maybe other people have other versions of prosperity. Maybe for them it's happiness, yeah, like ability to be with their family and all those kinds of things. But me, prosperity, I'm looking at it in terms of economy or how the continent is doing. Africa is not doing that well in terms of economy, despite the fact that it's the most religious continent on earth. Yeah, so just these small things, these like are the reasons that make me question so many things about religion. Yeah, and also greed of some of the preachers out there. There's so many greedy in Kenya. There are so many greedy pastors. Like, oh God, I'm telling you, these televangelists, okay, these guys are getting rich out of manipulating their own audience, okay? They are selling their audience things that they actually don't need by forms of manipulation. Yeah, like they are just telling them, like, if you buy this thing, you're going to be blessed, and the people believe it. There are cults, there are preachers who like have coerced. There are preachers out there who have coerced people into, like, literally dying. Okay, yeah. 2 years ago, there was a scandal here in Kenya of a pastor, a bishop. I don't know. It's a pastor who his name was Mackenzie. If you have ever checked, just go and check it out. So somewhere you find this whole story, the full story on the internet. This guy was like a cult leader, okay, and he was coercing his members to starving themselves to death, and some of them were being buried in his compound. See, things like this. And dude, no one is punishing God. Why are you letting all these things happen? And the people who are actually punishing this person are human beings, like our fellow human beings. The police are the ones, and the public are the ones who are actually enraged by this person, and they're the ones who are actually going to punish him. And God let all these things happen. Okay, I don't know. Also, what can I say? Another thing that makes me question all these religious things is I always feel like most of these preachers who are opening up churches in our countries are doing it because of the money. Like, if the money never existed, they'll probably not open these churches. Okay, I'm not a perfect human being. These are just some of the flaws I see on religion. I used to be a religious person when I was young because my mom is religious and I used to go to church all the time. But after some time, I just questioned all these things. And also, I'm not that kind of like, I'm not fully atheist. I'm kind of agnostic because there's also so many things that don't make sense. Like, where did God come from? Or where did, like, all these things, like nature, the order of things, like you see mammals, they behave in the same manner, like reptiles, they behave in the same manner. Like, someone had to do this job for these animals to behave in this manner, like all the things that exist on this earth and how they are functioning. Yeah, like how, like the way our bodies are functioning, like the way we can see, we can move. Someone had to think about this. Also, I'm just confused. I don't know, like, if, like, like, maybe there's a God watching us, but He's not doing anything. Yeah, maybe there is a God watching us, not doing anything, or maybe there is no God. God, please just appear to me. If I swear, God, if you appear to me like the way you appear to Saul in the Bible, I will be the most religious human being on earth. Just give me a sign, God. Yeah. And I will worship you for the rest of my life. If you can't do that, then it's gonna be difficult for me to, like, believe these religious things. I try so hard to believe, but I can't. I can't. So, guys, does anyone relate with me? Like, what I'm saying? Or does anyone feel about religion the same way I do? Yeah, if you do, you can just, I don't know. Right now, I have like 2 subscribers. I'm talking to my 2 people here. So